going to be fun. Welcome in. I am Joe Hunk, and you will obviously know based on this amazing voice that it has not gotten any better since 3HL wrapped up today at 6 o'clock. And so this is going to be really fun. Now, right now, it is halftime of Thursday Night Football when you have the Bucs and the Cowboys playing right now. Now, we strategically did this because we understood that there were going to be fewer people that were going to be paying attention to a baseball podcast while Thursday Night Football is going on. So what we decided to do, let's do it at halftime. What I had no idea about is that an 8 minutes in the NFL second quarter was going to last 45 minutes, and we're actually starting later tonight than what we normally would. So I appreciate everybody that's hopped on. My name is Joe Hunk. I am the executive producer of 3HL, but also I am the host of the Strike Zone podcast. Now, as we speak, I have no voice. This is going to be extremely fun. You can make fun of it all you want. Now, last night, as we were debuting the Gamer Zone, matter of fact, I need to turn my mic up because if I'm going to talk this silent, then we're going to need to have this thing a little bit louder. But last night, had my Hall's cough drops. I still have them here with me right now, so we're going to get through this. How's it going, Brett? How's it going? Yorkie's in here, man. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Now, Braves game at the moment. We have a history with the Atlanta Braves as these broadcasts are concerned on Thursday nights, because whenever we are broadcasting during the game, sometimes, a lot of times, good things happen. That's not the case right now with the Braves because they actually just gave up a run and it is now 5-4 as Garcia just hit a home run off of Rodriguez. So it is 5-4 Nationals. Now, at this point in time, this is where I would normally want to yell and get upset because you are supposed to beat the teams that are worse than you in September, at least taking 2 of 3. Now, I'm not expecting a sweep every single time, but when you have a series with the Marlins coming up, you have a series with the Colorado Rockies again, this time actually at home. When you have all of those going on, you should be able to beat the teams that you are supposed to beat. The Braves have struggled against the Nationals, and that is not cool, and that is not something that you should be doing when you are 2.5 games up in the NL East. And as we speak right now, matter of fact, let me get you an update on what is going on with the Phillies and the Rockies. That game is, let me refresh. That game at the moment is over with, and the Rockies have come back to win. Good job, Colorado, on the road in Philadelphia. That's exactly what you need to do. Now, if the Braves can actually win this game, then they're going to be going up 3.5 games with these 2 huge series coming up of teams that the Braves should be beating 2 out of 3, if not sweeping. That's just me personally. All right, Brett says, Halls, man, that's the stuff I had in high school. Bro, I absolutely need these Halls cough drops. In fact, I probably should have had these today because my voice has sounded like garbage all day long. And in fact, I got home and my wife goes, "Do you have COVID?" No, because I already had to deal with this with Dawn. Dawn, this afternoon when she came in, "Honk, do you have COVID?" No, I don't have COVID. It's called sinuses. It's called seasonal allergies. It happens to me twice a year. It has my entire life. When we go from winter to spring, normally around the NCAA basketball tournament, this happens for about 2 to 3 days. And then in the fall, normally around the start of college football season, right before the weather starts to get cooler, happens to me again. Now watch me. Tomorrow, I'll be perfectly fine. I'm not hurting. Also can't yell. Could you hear that just then? Could you hear how sad that sounded? That was me trying to raise my voice. But Brett also says, okay, Hunk, we lost to the O's last night. Granted, y'all are in a much different situation than what we are at this right now. Now, Brett says we. So let me double check and see who he is a fan of that lost to, Kansas City Royals. That's right. Brett's our Kansas City Royals guy. True. But the Royals are also horrible right now. So I apologize, bro. I mean, you and I both know that it could be a lot worse and your time is going to eventually come. Now, some of the things that we are talking about right now, and we see it right over here as it is halftime heat. Yes, I have 100% stolen this name from the gimmick wrestling match that happened in the late 1990s when WWE did a halftime wrestling match in an empty arena between The Rock and Mankind. Totally stole that from them. Halftime heat that actually happened during the Super Bowl. And to be quite honest with you, it was probably better than the Super Bowl. But the reason we are here tonight is because last night and even tonight, the start of college football was last week. You have the start of the NFL season. And it's honestly kind of difficult to focus on baseball, especially when crap like what's going on right now with the Braves that are making you so extremely frustrated. Here's what's sad. And I know that when you look at the Major League Baseball standings, there's some things that are very obvious, okay? Chicago White Sox, they basically got the AL Central wrapped up. Tampa basically has the AL East wrapped up. Houston most likely has the AL West wrapped up. So really, the division winners have already been wrapped up that way. Now, then you get into the NL, Milwaukee, who, by the way, gave the Braves a major gift last night. If you missed the way that the Brewers won, Phillies had an opportunity to tie the game, and they are up to bat, top of the ninth inning, and one of the Phillies players hits a rocket, and a middle infielder for the Brewers literally just dives and catches it and saves the ball game for the Brewers. It was magnificent, and the Braves needed that help. But Milwaukee has basically wrapped up the NL Central. Now, for a long time, we have talked about how the Braves are going to have to face the Milwaukee Brewers. That is still what I believe is going to happen. As at the moment, they have 86 wins and San Francisco has 90. Now, again, San Francisco can run into a 3-game losing streak, just like the Brewers can run into a 3-game winning streak, which they've already won 2 in a row. San Francisco's already won 4 in a row. And there could be a point in time where Milwaukee could overtake San Francisco or Los Angeles for the lead when it comes to the best record in baseball. I still believe that it is going to be that, but here we go. Also, thank you, Michael Young. I've got it on right now. Matter of fact, I will show it to you if you are watching currently during the halftime of the football game. Boom, look at that. Freddie Freeman running around the bases just hit a game-tying home run. And that's what's so great about this. Here's our problem. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. And do we do a watch along? Should that be what we're doing for the remainder of this game? Should we turn the Strike Zone podcast on this Thursday night, September 9th, when Joe Hunt has no voice whatsoever? Should we turn this into a watch along? Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when we were kind of doing the watch along and I just pulled the plug? How many of you were ready to get pissed off at me because you thought that I jinxed the Braves? How many people, I know you did, because I remember getting the tweets. I remember getting the angry messages. I remember every bit of that. But now, game is tied, 5-5, bottom of the 8th inning. We have halftime going on between the Bucs and the Cowboys. I don't know what you bet. I betted the under, and I betted the Cowboys with the plus 9.5. So I hope that right now this score kind of stays the exact same way for this. But the other thing that happened over this week, and I think it gets lost because you have Major League Baseball getting into September. You have college football starting. You have the NFL starting this week. But what people don't realize is we also inducted the GOAT. of shortstops. Okay, let me rewind that. We inducted the GOAT of winners into the Hall of Fame yesterday. Derek Jeter, the GOAT, the captain, Mr. Clutch, Mr. November, Mr. Toss, whatever it is, we have seen him now go into the Hall of Fame, which is amazing. Michael, I'm just going to do this right here. If you're watching, I'm going to pull this up because you are just a little bit ahead of me right now. And so as I am talking right now, talking about the Hall of Fame and Derek Jeter, boom! Yakety. Adam freaking Duvall. It's the only Duvall that Titans fans actually like. 6'5". I'm telling you, we should have just turned this into a watch along. That is what we should have kicked our feet up right here. I should just kick it up. Feet up. By the way, can't see him. Rocking the Jordans tonight. I should have just kicked it up. I should just sit back, talk back in my FM DJ voice like we are at 1 a.m. and you're driving down the interstate right now. Easy listening with Joe Hunk here on this Thursday night as the Atlanta Braves have went up 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Rodriguez has the opportunity to get the win. Look, I can't say that it's us. I can't say that it is the Strike Zone podcast family. But guys, we're doing this, okay? Buckle up, throw one channel up that you can sit here and you can watch the baseball game. And then you can then sit and have the baseball game on your iPad the way like I do. And we're going to sit back and hang out together as we watch the Braves beat the Washington Nationals after being down, after the Philadelphia Phillies were up like 2-1 in the top of the 9th inning. And we're going to sit here and we're going to watch this together and we're going to enjoy the beautifulness that is going up 3.5 games. Are you with me? That's what I need to know. My voice is shot. I don't care. But we're going to hang out together and do this. Now, why don't we go through this? Because there's only one out right now. Derek Jeter, Hall of Fame. Okay, I don't know what your thoughts are on the captain. No, okay. Yorkie says, "Hey, you getting sick or you're raspy." Okay, so every single fall and spring, I go through seasonal allergies. I'm not sick. I don't feel bad. I'm not sitting here right now like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to die. Like, remember a couple of months ago, actually, it was right before SEC Media Days. I got my second COVID shot. So I went through that whole experience of feeling like I was about to die and all of that. This is nothing. This is none of that. This is just seasonal allergies. I got some phlegm in the chest, and that's it. Okay? I can't raise my voice. As you can tell right now, it's all getting it sounds horrible. But we're doing this because I love having fun with you, and I love the fact that as we have been talking, the Braves went from being down 5-4 to being up 6-5. Now, as that's going, we've been talking about the Hall of Fame, Derek Jeter going in, but that's not what we need to be worried about, because this year's class was extremely easy when you have the captain going in. It's extremely easy. Have you looked at the 2022 class? Now, normally they vote on the 2022 class around November, December is when they get announced, and then it's normally around July in Cooperstown. Timeout on that. Why on earth is Major League Baseball not taking advantage of having the Hall of Fame ceremonies in Cooperstown? Think about it. A whole weekend. Get 2 major league teams there that are from the teams that the players are going in, like this year, the New York Yankees have the Yankees playing in Cooperstown. I mean, it's in New York. Have that happen, have their fan base all the way around, and have the ceremony around it at the exact same time. Make it a fun weekend. It's almost a no-brainer that I've never figured out how Major League Baseball has never done this. They've played in the corn. They've played in a military base. They've played in Cuba. Well, yes, they have played in Cuba. They've played in Mexico. They've played in Japan. They obviously play in Canada. Why can we not play in Cooperstown? Why? It is the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame, where you build an entire weekend around the Hall of Fame. Why can you not have two teams play a series there Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Sunday nights on Sunday Night Baseball. The Saturday game happens after the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then Friday is just to kick it off. It sounds so easy. Major League Baseball, make this happen. But next year, we're about to have some problems. Because not only next year do you have guys like Alex Rodriguez going in, he's going to be on his first ballot. You also had David Ortiz, Prince Fielder, which I really don't think that Prince Fielder's done enough to be a Hall of Famer. You also have guys like Jonathan Papelbon. You also have a Ryan Howard, which had a good career, but I don't think that he's had that good of a career. You also have Jeff Francoeur. Good seasons, good career, but not that great. But then you have the guys that are still on the ballot. That is where the turmoil is about to happen. Because on the ballot, you only get 10 shots at this. You first go on the ballot when you have been retired for 5 years. Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz, Mark Teixeira, Jimmy Rollins, all of those players retired like in 2016, 2017. It was 2017 because David Ortiz retired and then the Red Sox won the World Series the very next season. But you only get 10 shots to go in. Once you've had your 10th, if you have not gotten your 75% vote, you're out. There are multiple players that are on this ballot next year, and next year will be their 10th shot. Curt Schilling, why this man is not in the Hall of Fame yet, I have no idea. Okay, I understand that he has very right-wing views, and that has angered a bunch of people. I understand that his views, or his political views, have done enough to get him fired from ESPN, even though in the real world he has not done a darn thing wrong. He has over 200 wins in his career. He has a sub-4 ERA in his career. He's even got like 22 saves. Okay, the guy is a Hall of Famer, hands down. He's actually the closest because last year he got 71.1% of the vote. You need 75%. This will be his 10th opportunity. Now, this is where it gets good. Along with Curt Schilling in their 10th attempt, their final attempt will be Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds. I'm also going to act like what is happening right now in the Braves game is not happening. So I'm just going to continue to talk right now, okay? Because this whole watch-along idea is about to really make me mad. If you missed it, Will Smith is in to try to get the save, and very first batter just hit one to deep center field, and Jock Peterson was not able to make the catch, and now the runner's on third base with the Nationals down by 1. You have Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Curt Schilling, and Sammy Sosa all on their final ballot to get into the Hall of Fame. Outside of Curt Schilling, what do the three guys have in common? Now, Sammy Sosa is the furthest away. He's only got 17% of the vote, which is still a travesty for a guy that has 600 home runs. It's really kind of sad. I know how he got there. If you know anything about steroids and HGH and those types of things, it's not about building the muscle. It's about the recovery. Basically, if you've ever been If you've ever worked out and that very next day after you work out, you know, that whole stiffness that, oh my God, I can't move. I never want to do it again. Especially like after you do like your first workout of CrossFit, you're like, this sucks so bad. I'm never going to move away from this position because I do not want to ever feel the pain of movement ever again. That working out and taking HGH and taking steroids, that makes that feeling not happen because it allows the muscles to heal quicker. And that's the reason why you don't have some of those problems, because your muscles heal faster and it allows you to work them out even harder. So basically what it's doing is it's getting that muscle and it's causing it to heal at such a pace that you can work it out more than what you normally would, which allows you to get bigger muscles. That's what steroids and HGH does. Now, you also have some of these guys like Gary Sheffield. Now, see, that's the problem. There's a lot of players that are on this list that have been connected to steroids and HGH throughout their career. Now, some of them have not and still have multiple opportunities to get into the Hall of Fame. Manny Ramirez is one. He's only at 28.2. He still has like 4 seasons remaining before he's already done through his 10th. You also have somebody like Gary Sheffield. Look, he was with the Braves. He mashed like 50 home runs, I believe, in 2002 when he was with the Braves. And I loved him as a player, even with the Marlins, even with Detroit, even with the Yankees, all those times that he was there. He was still a great player. He hit over 500 home runs. He's been connected to steroids as well. In fact, he was connected not just with steroids. He was connected directly to Barry Bonds. He was Barry Bonds' workout partner for many, many years while Barry Bonds was in San Francisco and while Gary Sheffield was playing with the Braves. Then you got your guys like your Todd Helton's, Tennessee connection right there. Your Billy Wagner's. Billy Wagner needs to go in. And those are some of the big Andy Pettit. He's never getting in. Great guy. He actually admitted to taking steroids. He was one of the few that said, look, I did it. I apologize. Forgive me. He's never going to get in as well. He's right now, Andy Pettit, this will be his 4th opportunity to try to get in. He's still got 6 years before it is. But Roger Clemens is going to be in there. Do you realize what kind of crap show this will be at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown next year if Curt Schilling, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens get into the Hall of Fame? Sammy Sosa's not getting in, so you don't ever have to really worry about that. But if you see this happen, you are going to talk about a Hall of Fame for the ages. And this is where I'm saying you get the Giants to take on the Yankees. Matter of fact, that would be great if A-Rod actually gets in, because there's another steroid user or HGH user, whatever it is. Matter of fact, he did the clear because he wanted exactly what Barry Bonds wanted. That's at least according to the book Game of Shadows. David Ortiz. David Ortiz, I want to say, has been connected to HGH, but he's had such a great career after the HGH stuff and after it was the Mitchell Report. His name was in that. All of this is happening, and this is what the Hall of Fame is going to be next year. This is going to see, because just like Derek Jeter this year, he got all but one person's vote. There was one person in the Baseball Writers of America that did not vote for Derek Jeter. And he remembered that, and he even mentioned it in his statement or his conversation that he had during his speech yesterday. But you get the Red Sox, you get the Yankees. If Ortiz and Roger Clemens or Ortiz and A-Rod are both in, and Curt Schilling, you get the Red Sox and Yankees at Cooperstown. You make this a big Red Sox-Yankees weekend and just let them have at it. And make it as ugly as you want it to be, because Major League Baseball would get so many eyes on Cooperstown if next year you have Curt Schilling, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, and Roger Clemens all going into the Hall of Fame at the same time, because that is literally the 2004 ALCS right there in a nutshell. Oh, I cannot believe that just happened. Sorry, I paused. The Braves just had a chance to win the ball game. Had the double play, and the Ozzie threw a bad throw to Freddie Freeman, and Freeman was not able to make the catch. That's just tough luck, man. Tie game 6-6 going into extra innings. But look, my voice is shot. I appreciate everybody that's hopped in tonight. We're gonna wrap this up tonight so that you can go and you can watch the Braves hopefully win this thing in the ninth inning. And you can also go watch some NFL football. I appreciate every single person that watched the very first 104.5 The Zone Gamer Zone last night. If you were unable to do so, it was on Twitch only. Make sure you go to Twitch, give me a watch last night, see what you think. We showed you what could potentially happen this Sunday between the Titans and Arizona. You are going to love. We're going to do this every single week leading into the next Titans game. Next week it is going to be Tennessee, Seattle, in Seattle. It's going to be Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Don't forget to turn in 3HL tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock. Look, I was still on when the double play happened, okay? So don't start blaming me because I'm getting off at the exact same time that the Braves had this game if Ozzie makes a better throw, okay? I will see you guys next Wednesday night. Talk to you there. Also talk to you tomorrow on 3HL. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing night.